Hello and welcome back to the Dream Printing Podcast. I'm your host, Polly Payne, and today I have an interview with the incredible creator of the Her Becoming Devotional. Her name is Fatima, and her company is called Woman, Wife, Mom, God, and it's to serve women and to help them be consistent in their Bible study. This is such an incredible tool. It's a 12-month undated devotional that God had on her heart for 5 years. So you're going to hear her story. She has had a super successful launch. She did a Kickstarter campaign to kick this off, and I am so glad that God allowed our paths to cross. So this is going to be a great episode. I hope you enjoy it. And without further ado, let's dive in. All right, welcome back to the Dream Printing Podcast. I am so excited. I am joined by Fatima. She's an incredible print school alumni. She's created a beautiful product, which was launched and successful and is now really making a huge impact in the world. And I cannot wait to kind of hear more of your story. So welcome to the show.
Yay. Thank you for having me. I'm super excited to share my journey.
Yay. So tell us a little bit more about you and then also about this dream and where it came about.
Well, I've always loved paper products. I live to buy them. I have so many notebooks in my office, devotionals. It's just my thing. And I just enjoyed that kind of stuff. And so I've always had this dream to kind of like create my own thing. So I played around in Canva for a little bit. And I would just get frustrated. I'm like, this is not as cute as I want it to be. Like, it's just not what I envisioned in my head. But I would still just play around in it for personal use, of course. And then about 5 years ago, I felt the Lord calling me to start this space for women, woman, wife, mom, and God, to create a space where women can come and talk and see how God ties into every area of our lives. And so I started playing more a little bit with paper products then, like, let me create some notes. Let me create some, notebooks that I can share with the ladies to use. But I felt like I had jumped the gun. It probably wasn't the time for me to do this. But I was just super excited that God had put this thing in my heart. And so I went for it. Fast forward, maybe like 2 or 3 years into it, I just felt the Lord say, hey, look, it's time for you to just put this thing on hold. And I want you to take a journey with me. Like, I want you to, there's still some refining that needs to be done. And when we're ready to do this thing, I'll tell you when. And so I remember driving to church that day and I was sitting in the parking lot and I called like 2 or 3 of the ladies that were helping me do this thing. And I was like, hey, look, I know we've been doing this thing for like 2 years, but I feel like the Lord is just telling me that I need to put a stop to it and I need to go and figure out what he wants for me. And then he'll tell me when it's time to launch this thing again. And so they were like, okay, cool. So we did that. And literally the Lord just took me through this journey of refining. I mean, like, it was kind of like going through the fire. Like, there was some healing that needed to take place. I was in church. I was doing all the things. I served on the worship team. And it was great. But some part of me knew like there had to be more to my life than just attending church every Sunday and coming home and just going through the routine. And I just remember the Lord taking me through a journey of healing, really. And it was, he just demolished everything from friendships to family. It was just this whole crumbling of my life, like happening before my eyes. But it was also kind of like a good crumbling. Like, I knew that God was going to bring beauty out of the ashes at the end of the day. And so I was like, okay, I'm just going to go for it. And so for a whole year, like, the Lord was like, give me a year of consistency in prayer. Give me a year of healing. Give me a year of being in my word, and not just to check off a list, but to actually be in my word. And so I did that for a year. I would wake up at like 5:45 every morning. I would pray. I would read my word. And the Lord just began to talk to me throughout that journey. And then fast forward at the beginning of this year, I woke up as usual, 5:45, got up, prayed. And I literally just said to the Lord, like, I was talking to you right now. I was like, you have placed this burden in my heart for these women. And I have no idea how you want me to do it. I don't know what it looks like. So I'm going to need your help. And so I just said that. And I got up that day, went on about my day. And then the Lord just began to orchestrate every step of the way. And so I remember coming back home from a meeting at church that day, and I was sitting down, I'm like, I really just don't know how I'm going to do this. Like, I really want to do this. I really want to create something. And so mind you, now all throughout this whole year, I'd been taking notes of like the journey, like getting rid of like the Lord delivering me from fear and anxiety and comparison and all the many, many things. And I was just jotting them down. And I remember coming home that day, I went back and I prayed. And I remember the Lord saying to me, like, bringing back to recollection, woman, wife, mom, and God. And I heard the Lord clearly say to me, everything you've gone through has not been for waste. And I was like, okay, I hear you. And a part of me was laughing, part of me was crying in that room. I was like, okay, Lord, I hear you and I trust you. And I think that afternoon I was scrolling and I came across Print School Print Your Things 5-day challenge. And I was like, okay, here we go. And so I was like, okay, this sounds like exactly what I've been looking for. And I was like, okay, I mean, what could I lose? It's free. It's 5 days. Why not? So I joined, and I remember sitting there thinking to myself, like, I hope this is not another one of these, like, I mean, because I have paid for so many things to birth this dream of creating paper products and just having my ministry and all the things. And so I was like, oh, I pray this is not it. I remember sitting in there like the first day and I was like, I could leave right now and like go do this thing. Like I just felt so empowered and I was like, okay. And I kept going like day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. And I was like, man, I could literally just take these 5 days worth of like time and just go do this thing. Like I remember you talking about, I think you called it a sprint or something, but I remember like telling my husband, I was like, look, I'm going to the library. Okay. Polly said, go sit somewhere and just write and just like, I think it was a writing retreat or something of that nature. And I did that and I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. And I like went on my calendar. I blocked out my time because you were talking about time blocking. I just did the whole thing. And then I was like, man, what would it feel like if I actually just did the whole program? Because like, this is amazing. Like, this is awesome. So I remember talking to my husband that day. I was like, look, I know I have tried all the things. I've spent all the money on this, but I know this is God. Like, this cannot be anything else but short of God because it was exactly what I needed. And my spirit was just so like calm about it because I felt like there was no gatekeeping. I was like, this is free. Like all this information right now is free. This is amazing. And I was like, so I don't even want to imagine like what the real program would be like. My husband was like, he's always the number one supporter. So he's like, go for it, do it. And I was like, okay, I'm doing it. And so I signed up for print school. I was like, okay, here goes more money. But I got into the program and I mean, just going through the first module was like I would literally like be in my office talking to myself like, there's no way she's giving all this information. I mean, like, I was astonished. It was beyond my imagination. Like, I was so inspired on like, finally, I can launch this business. Finally, I can walk in my ministry. Like, I was just so empowered. And it just so happened, like, at the same time I was doing print school, the Lord opened the door for coaching. And so I was in a coaching program while in print school. And I'd be in the coaching program and they would say, some of you, the Lord is telling you, right, print that thing. I was like, okay, I'm printing the thing. So it was just this beautiful picture of God just aligning everything at the same time. And honestly, like going through print school, I can't even begin to explain the goodness that it has done, just not for me, just printing my devotional, but for my ministry, for my business. Like I am so in awe of what God did. And it's just been, I think just looking at the system of print school, like the module, like going through the Meister task, like my mind was just blown. Like, I just feel like I'm so empowered and it was worth the investment. It was worth the time. To answer your question about like what I did. Like, I just stuck to what you said. I wasn't going to DIY. I was like, DIY is not my thing. I was like, I'm not doing the DIY. But the funny thing is I did because I'm so type A, I was like, I'm not gonna leave all these boxes unchecked. So I did the DIY course anyway that's in print school, and that has helped me tremendously with creating workbooks for my email list, free resources like that I'm giving away. Like it has just transformed. Like I was like, oh my God, this is what it feels like not to be stuck. This is what it feels like to know the next steps, what you're doing. Like I just followed everything. I did not DIY. I hired a designer. I did the professional photography. I mean, I did every single thing that was on the plan and it came to fruition. And just even doing the Kickstarter, I was like panicking. I was like, oh my God, I don't know what's going to happen. It's just been great. It's been empowering. It's just made everything so clear. And I think when you truly listen and do the work, like you say, and like put in the time, you will see the fruits. And I've seen the fruits. And I remember sitting down to myself and saying, even if I just sold one devotional, I would not care because what I got out of this was way more than what I expected. So it's been an awesome journey and I'm grateful.
Yay. Oh, that makes me so happy. Thank
Yeah.
you for sharing. Yeah, you didn't skip around, jump around, try to
Nope.
microwave the result. You stuck to it. And it's a process. People don't
Yeah.
want except that the world of publishing, it's kind of like the same amount of time it takes to make a baby. Like it's a 9-month journey to do it right. And I love what you did it with the DIY class. Even though you didn't do DIY, you took the class, which I'd highly recommend. It's a bonus inside of Print School for those of you listening or watching. And it's basically a masterclass in just good design taught by an
Yes.
incredible designer who, sometimes we don't know what we don't like about something. We're like, I just don't like it. I don't like the design. And then
Yeah.
sometimes you see something you're like, oh, I love that, but you don't know why. And this teaches you like the elements of design, which that's something she went to design school to learn. So like you really are getting so much education, both in running a business and then like how to be in the paper world. It's all of it together in marketing, which I love to dive into, and the psychology behind marketing, which really comes down to serving your customer well. It comes down to caring and taking the time to care. And you do, and you did. And, your heart shines through with your products and the way that you launched it. And it was so people centric. So it was so much fun watching your journey. And you were on the calls, you were asking the questions. I remember you coming onto the call and being like, hey, I'm going to host this party. Like, any ideas, like what I should do? And
Yeah.
we spitballed ideas, which is so fun. And that's one of the things I love the most about the program is getting to interact and kind of, brainstorm together
Yeah.
ideas. And I remember seeing pictures of your event, and you had all these ladies come to a pre-order party who effectively fully funded the campaign. I mean, wasn't it already almost funded or fully funded before you started?
It was fully funded and more. It was fully funded and more. I remember standing there like, I mean, like I was expecting, I had prayed that morning. I was like, Lord, even if I don't meet the goal, because I remember asking you, I was like, what do I make the goal? Like, and I was shooting, and you were like, just make it what you're comfortable at. And if you meet it, great. If you stay under, and I was like, okay. And I just did it. And I was like, okay, Lord, like my expectation was like, okay, I might like get right to the brim and then like figure out the rest. But I mean, like out of the water, like day one it was fully funded and more, and it just kept going and going, and I was like, oh my. And I had people that were like keeping tabs on the Kickstarter more than I was. They're like, hey, your thing's at like this percent, did you check it? I'm like, no, I haven't checked it yet. But like it was just fun to like watch even people engaging and keeping tabs on the Kickstarter, like how it was growing. And it was really amazing. And it was worth it.
It's amazing. So tell everybody where they can buy your product and a little more about who it's for and what you do inside of it.
So you can purchase it now on our website. Thank you, Polly, for that journey as well. It's been amazing. Our website is womanwifemomgod.com, and you can go on there and purchase it for yourself. The journey is really what God took me on through that year, which was making my purpose clear, because I always knew that God had a call for my life. But sometimes I feel like with the things that happen in life, we tend to let fear step in the way. And that's what I was experiencing. Like, I knew that this thing was inside of me. I knew it had to be birthed, but I was walking in fear and comparison and anxiety. And so I would start the journey and then I would just like stop. And the Lord was like, okay, we're not doing this anymore. Like, we have kingdom work to do here. And so you have to do the work. And so that year was a year of refining. The Lord was just removing fear, comparison, doubt, healing wounds that had been inflicted. And so I remember when I said, okay, Lord, I found the place to do this thing. What do I do? And he just said, take all your notes and you can do this thing. So Her Becoming was my notes of that year, where the Lord was just like, okay, before you can even move forward, you have to address the wounds. What has affected your past, the fear, the comparison? What are the things that you're still holding on to that are not allowing you to move forward? And so it's just this 12-month journey of my journey of consistency. During Prince School, I know one of the things you said was like, talk to people, hear what their pain points are. And their pain points was consistency. I don't know what to do next. Like, I'm done with this devotional. Now what? Like, and so I would hear that and I was like, okay, Lord, I hear you. And so like 12 months is for the consistency. So people are like in one place. You're journeying through each month, dealing with some aspect of your past or a pain that is still there, like fear, or every month has a different scripture and a theme, right? So it could be fear this month. And so that's what the Lord had me do, where I would just stay and look at scriptures. What does the Lord say about fear and how do I overcome that? And it was just this beautiful thing of pouring out those wounds and letting the word of God heal. And I feel like once you start healing, then you really begin to see clearly what God has in front of you. Because when you just have all these wounds, it's like, okay, I'm trying to patch this wound and patch that wound. But when you truly heal, you begin to clearly see what God had purposed for you a long, long time ago when he created you. And so it was just this journey of God healing my wounds so that I could be able to effectively serve the women in my community, or serve the women that I may never even get to meet. But and I'll share this too. During the Kickstarter campaign, somebody reached out to me through Kickstarter and said, hey, I was just randomly going through Kickstarter and I saw your devotional. And she just gave this long story of what she had been going through, of pain, of hurt, of feeling less than. I mean, it was just, I was reading and I was like, oh my God, this is what you wanted, that people would find this and find some way to heal. And so it's just this journey of healing and really understanding who your identity is in Christ, and so that you're able to walk in boldness and confidence and purpose. And so that's the 12-month journey. And it's also to keep you consistent, because I feel that that's one of the biggest journeys of being a believer, is being consistent, being consistent in the word, being consistent in following through. And so it's just this beautiful journey of holding on and being anchored to God, and then also finding healing and purpose in in it all. So
that's beautiful. Thank you so much for coming on the show, sharing your heart. It's incredible. It's so inspiring. Your product is so beautiful. So tell us again the website where folks can find you.
Yes. So website is womanwifemomgod.com.
Perfect. We're going to have all the links in the show notes. Go grab your copy so you can be consistent in 2026 and jump in, dive in. It's dated or undated?
It's undated. So you can pick it up at any time and just jump right in.
Jump right in and be consistent. So beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing your heart. It's been incredible. And I am so excited to see where God takes you in the new year.
Thank you so much, Polly. I truly appreciate this opportunity.
I hope you enjoyed this episode. It was so much fun getting to talk to Fatima. Again, you can go to her website, which is linked right below. She also has an Instagram account, which is at woman.wife.mom.god. So check her out, get connected with her. And if you want to join Print School, you absolutely can. Just like her, you can go to dreamprinting.co to learn more. And I just pray that you would make the right decision for you, and that if this is the next step in 2026 for you to get your idea out of your head and into your hands, I pray that you will take those first baby steps. And we are here for you every step of the way. There are all sorts of resources at dreamprinting.co as well. And be sure to subscribe. We have a ton more episodes coming your way in 2026, and you can check out some more episodes right here.